Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
I'm Amanda.
And how long have you been a patient here at Advanced Spinal Care?
Just over a month.
Okay. Now, what brought you in to see Dr. Lipinski?
I was having a lot of vertigo, neck pain, arm numbness.
Wow.
Several other things that
Yeah.
just a combination of a whole bunch of things, but those were the main things.
How long have you suffered that?
Probably I'd say almost 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So they progressively got worse it kind of just started out with one, and then it just kind of slowly one thing after another.
So how often were you getting like a bout of vertigo or?
Vertigo I was getting anywhere from 10 to 15 times a day.
10 to 15 times a day?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
my
was
word.
so bad I couldn't even, I just sat at a desk all day, and it was even hard for me to concentrate then. It was hard for me to drive.
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old, and it scared me to death to even drive with her.
Right.
Because if I had an episode or, something happened, it would bring on anxiety, which nobody wants that with a 2-year-old. So it's I already get that already with her. So
wow.
But yeah.
So this was affecting your quality of life. Like you weren't able to do things that you normally.
Right. I was, before I had my daughter, I was a person who was in the gym 5-6 days a week. And I could barely keep up to 2 to 3 days a week during these last 2 years. I mean, yes, there were other factors into it, having a child at the same time, but I just didn't feel myself. Like I'm like, you've always been a person who's gone to the gym, you ate healthy, and but with all these certain symptoms that came along with everything, it hindered a lot of things. So
yeah, and one thing affects another, and so it feels like this spiral.
Yeah.
So you found Dr. Lipinski. What happened after your first adjustment for you?
As I was actually sitting in the quiet room, the first thing I noticed is I said, I haven't been dizzy once in an hour. And to me, that was a huge change.
Wow.
Only because coming from a person, I guess when you have the vertigo, it was making me so anxious that it almost made it worse.
Right.
Because there's that feeling of, how long is this going to last? It was just the strangest thing. Like I literally got done and I was like, wait, I'm not dizzy. Like even just sitting in a chair, I'd get dizzy. It was the strangest thing. And I've never had it before. It was crazy.
Wow. So did you notice other things start to change after?
As a child, also one other thing I mentioned earlier, I suffered from a lot of digestive issues, to where I was in the doctor at least once a month because I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
And I've suffered that ever since I was little.
Oh my goodness.
And I have literally no issues now.
Wow.
So coming
That's
from a
amazing.
kid who was in pain all the time, it just became a norm. I was like, cool. It is what it is. It must just be something. It was to the point that I changed my entire diet. I went on low carb. I went on carb cycling. I tried everything, cutting out things, and nothing would. It was almost like, I was thinking, do I have IBS? Do I have Crohn's? Do I have? It could be anything. Right. But after also the adjustment, I've maybe had one day of an issue, and that's it. But
wow.
Nothing.
For a whole month.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Normal.
That's amazing.
And coming from a person who never knew what the day would bring, now I just feel like I'm perfectly fine. I can now work out 5 or 6 days a week as well. And recovery time's a lot shorter than it used to be. So
that's great. So this has changed your life.
Yeah, I would recommend it to anybody.
Wow.
I'm so glad somebody did.
Yeah, this is amazing. Well, I'm excited because you're in your first month and there's still so much improvement that can happen as your body starts to communicate. So I'm excited to hear your story in a couple months and see what else has happened. So
yeah,
great.
thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing.